What is up? You are checking out the World of WWE podcast. I'm your host, and again, I am flying solo for this week's recap from WWE SmackDown live in Nashville, Tennessee on January 21st, 2022. The road to Royal Rumble is heating up. We start SmackDown with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, who just last week on Raw attacked Seth frickin' Rollins. And they claim how, they talk about Roman Reigns has been Universal Champion for 580 days. They introduce Reigns, and the Reigns comes down to the ring. They show highlights of Roman's, reign as champion. And then Seth frickin' Rollins comes down. Rollins says, Roman sent the Usos to Raw to do his dirty work. We should be celebrating the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. They are the cornerstone of the bloodline. The Usos are your pedestal, Roman. And then Roman calls Seth little brother, and he says, did Cena write that promo? Our match will be one-on-one at the Royal Rumble. And Seth says that he doesn't believe Roman. So tonight, he will find a partner, beat the Usos, and when he does, the Usos will be barred from ringside at the Royal Rumble. Well, Roman looks upset, and then the Usos say, fine, we accept, and that makes Roman even more upset. And Jay says, we are good because no one is crazy enough to team with you. That's Seth Rollins. That's when Kevin Owens comes out. And Roman says it's not final unless Roman says so. And Roman says when you lose tonight, you will lose your match at the Royal Rumble. And I'll be on vacation until WrestleMania. And then Seth says, you're on. So tonight, we now know Seth frickin' Rollins and Kevin Owens against the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. If Seth wins, then the Usos are barred from ringside at the Royal Rumble. If he loses, then he loses his title shot at the Rumble. So, do we think that the Usos are deserving of holding the titles? I think so. I mean, they're not my favorite tag team, but they are a great tag team, and I do think that eventually they'll lose the titles. But right now, it's okay with them as champions. I'm not going to hate. Okay, up next we have Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin trash talking Sir Kofi, and they say that without Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston is nothing. So Madcap Moss is in the ring with Happy Corbin, and then Sir Kofi Kingston comes out, and Big E actually comes out to be ringside with Kofi. And this was an okay match, not a lot going on here. The end came after Sir Kofi nailed a sidekick to Madcap Moss, and he gets the win in this match. After the match, Happy Corbin watches as Big E nails Madcap Moss with a big ending. So my question is, what is up with the New Day? They keep going back and forth. Is Big E a single star? Is he with Kofi? Is Kofi a single star? What is happening with the New Day? There needs to be some kind of transition with them at some point because the storyline is kind of getting a little old to me. I do like them, but it might be time for a change. Up next, we have Natalya taking on Aaliyah in a rematch from last week. Summer Rae is in attendance. Summer Rae is one of my favorites. She did check out my Instagram story, so thank you, Summer Rae, for that. One of my favorites when she first came out. I was really attracted to her, so to see that she checked out her story is really awesome. But yeah, to see her back in the Royal Rumble match is going to be a lot of fun, too. So this is a quick match. Natty applied a gory special. And Natty just kicks away at Aaliyah in the corner and doesn't stop. And that's when the referee disqualifies Natalya. And then after the match, Natalya continued to attack Aaliyah until Xia Li came out and made the save. So Natalya just, really not doing anything. All these women, Natalya and Aaliyah, will both be in the Royal Rumble match. So what do we think will happen? What role will Xia Li play? I think Xia Li and Natalya will be a great match. I think Xia Li will be Aaliyah's protector and then go on to take Natalya on. And I think Xia Li and Natalya will be the rivalry going forward. Next, we have the Viking Raiders taking on Los Lotharios, and we know that the Viking Raiders are number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And this one was a pretty decent match. Los Lotharios are really cool. It ends when the Viking Raiders land a Viking experience to get the win. Chances of the Viking Raiders winning those SmackDown Tag Team titles, I don't know. I hope they do win it really quick, but you never know. But I'm really praying that the Viking Raiders eventually take the titles because they're a great tag team and they're just awesome in the ring. Okay, up next we have Naomi taking on the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. However, before the match can start, Sonya Deville comes down and announces that she will be the referee for this contest. And pretty much this match was just Charlotte Flair beating Naomi, doing illegal stuff, and getting away with it with Sonya as the referee. The end came when Charlotte landed a figure eight, and before Naomi can even tap out, Sonya calls for the bell, and Charlotte continues to apply the figure eight after the match, and Charlotte Flair gets the win. I really don't understand what the storyline is going to. I know Sonya and Naomi will be eventually meeting head to head, face to face. But with Charlotte Flair being involved, I don't know. Charlotte Flair will be in the Women's Royal Rumble match, so that will be interesting. But really not much going on here, just to advance the storyline with Naomi and Sonya. Then Sami Zayn comes down to the ring, and he wants to do the same trick that Johnny Knoxville did when he started out. And Johnny Knoxville, the first stunt he did was testing weapons on himself. So Sami Zayn has a cattle prod, and he pretends to zap himself with it. And he pretends to get hurt, but he ends up being okay. He does this numerous times until the real Johnny Knoxville comes out, and he says, Sami, you're doing it all wrong. You don't have the cattle prod actually on. And then Johnny Knoxville zaps Sami Zayn, and he tosses Sami Zayn out of the ring and says, I will see you at the Royal Rumble. So, a silly segment, but it is a way to show Johnny Knoxville. It will be fun to see him in the Rumble match and fun to see what Sami and him will do. The segment was corny because you knew he was not getting zapped with a cattle prod, but, it was a little fun play on to see what happens. Next, Eric Bischoff, Hall of Famer, is talking to Adam Pearce, and Sonya shows up. And Adam Pearce says he talked to Eric Bischoff, and he honestly thinks that Sonya needs to really stop getting involved. And next week on SmackDown will be Naomi versus Sonya Deville one-on-one. Finally, these two will fight without any interference, hopefully. Next, we have Ricochet taking on Sheamus. However, at this point, Ridge Holland is back after getting his nose broken by Ricochet. Again, this was a quick match. Ricochet goes for a suicide dive, but Sheamus nails him with a big boot and then a bro kick for the win. Really nothing here for Ricochet, just a match to kind of just show Sheamus is great. This will be Sheamus will be involved in the Royal Rumble. The only title he has left before a Grand Slam championship is the Intercontinental title, so maybe he will win the Rumble to go after that. Who knows? All right. Now we come to our main event, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, taking on Seth frickin' Rollins and Kevin Owens. This is a really good match. The Usos attack Seth Rollins, but Kevin nails a cannonball in the corner. Seth Rollins nails a suicide dive to the Usos outside of the ring, a springboard knee. There's a cool pop-up Samoan drop by the Usos. KO nails a top rope Fisherman's Buster. Jay breaks up the pin. KO lands a stunner on Jay. Seth lands a punch to Jimmy's neck, and then Seth Rollins goes for he curb stomps Jimmy, but Roman Reigns runs down and lands a Superman punch on Seth Rollins, disqualifying the Usos, meaning Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens get the win. But that does mean that the Usos will be barred from ringside at the Royal Rumble. So although Roman Reigns did get the advantage by nailing a Superman punch on Seth Rollins, he might have screwed himself over because the Usos will not be at ringside in his match against Seth frickin' Rollins at the Royal Rumble. So, we're going to be taking a really short break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back. Yes, thank you for tuning into us on Anchor. If you're listening to us on Anchor, it's a great way to create your own podcast. Check out the site, anchor.fm. If you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, thank you. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and all that good stuff. Also, if you're checking us out on YouTube, thank you for checking us out on there. Also, while you're on there, subscribe, hit the like button, and the notification bell to stay notified when new content is created. You get a little notification sent to your phone once new stuff is dropped. All right, so that is it for our SmackDown episode. My favorite moment of the night What's my favorite moment of the night? I guess I like the main event. The main event was good. There really wasn't anything too spectacular about the SmackDown. The main event was good, and I'm just excited for the Royal Rumble. So that is it. Be safe, y'all, and I will talk to y'all soon.